Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 4 of Unwatchable, and we got a lot to discuss in today's episode. First and foremost, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope you guys spent it well with your family. I hope you guys won a lot of money watching football. If you didn't, you're not alone. I lost about 5 parlays that day. But we have a lot to discuss in today's episode. The 2025 New York Mets were dysfunctional. No shit, Sherlock. That team was a recipe of disaster after the month of June. And with all of these rumors coming around about Lindor, McNeil, and Soto, it clearly made the clubhouse worse. Which, can you blame them? That team was a shit show. Now, before we get into all this Lindor, Soto, and McNeil shit, I just want to say that 2025 year was a fucking joke. It was a joke from the start, and it was a joke till the day it ended. Now, people may ask me, why do I think it's a joke? Because the Mets were so good. They were, in my opinion, as I always say, World Series potential. But there were a bunch of flaws with the Mets. The top one being when your starting pitcher cannot go past 3 innings. That is a big one. Sean Manaea. Another one was no moves were made in the offseason that year. There was nothing made. The trade for Jose Siri was a shit show. That was supposed to replace Harrison Bader, guys. Terrible. The trade deadline, while it looked good on paper, was still a mess. The prospects the Mets gave up to get Ryan Helsley, Gregory Soto, Tyler Rogers, and Cedric Mullins, who all underperformed with the Mets. I think Tyler Rogers might have had the best. But even then, towards the end of the year, he was trying to get his Giants into the postseason with how badly he was pitching. I don't have the paper with me. I totally left it in my office somewhere of how many inherited runners Tyler Rogers allowed to score this year. It was horrible. But yet again, that's a fault of Mendoza. Rogers, of course, being a contact guy. Why are you bringing him in when runners on base when you know he's a contact guy? But like I said, it was a very shit year. It almost kind of reminds me of the 2021 collapse, where the Mets played some of the best baseball, and then they played some of the worst baseball. And that, it kind of looks like 2025. The Mets were playing great baseball, and they were playing shit baseball. And again, this team losing to bad teams that they should be beating. For instance, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Tampa Bay Rays came in on your own home field, and they swept you. They blew you out 2 of the games. Unbelievable. The Pirates, again, blew you out of the water. This is ridiculous. This fucking team was a mess. And the faulty person of the matter was David. I'm smarter than you because I went to Harvard. I'd never won anything. Stearns, who is, again, not making any moves as of right now. I could be wrong, but he is not making any moves. And you know what? It frustrates me. This is a team I've dedicated so much time to. Literally, at work, I'll throw in my AirPods and I will listen to the Met game. And you know what? They'll be losing 5-0 and I'll still listen to them. I got to come home early. I got to watch the Mets. And this is what they gave us. We sold the most tickets in franchise history. Steve Cohen called on us to pack out the ballpark, and we did. And what did this team give us? A big fuck you. That is what this team gave us. A major fuck you. Let's get into this, shall we, before I start to get pissed off. So, the 2025 Mets were a dysfunctional team. No fucking shit. So, as I'm reading this on my other laptop, so if I'm looking this way, excuse that. Lindor and Jeff McNeil had a heated confrontation after a blown play in Philly, per NY Post. Everyone knows that month of June. The downward stretch of that team, right after June 13th, they started their historical collapse. Amazing. And clearly, Lindor and Jeff McNeil going at it again, as they did in 2021. This is what is hilarious to me. So, back in 2021, Lindor and McNeil had a heated exchange where McNeil choked Lindor. And guess what? About a month after that, a collapse happened. And would you look at this? A collapse happened, and these two go at it again. Now, obviously, something that happened 4 years ago is not going to be fixed this year. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying how funny this shit is. Let's get more into this. Again, if I'm looking this way, I'm sorry. Lindor reportedly verbally attacked McNeil, leading to a tense standoff. Wow. By the way, this is supposed to be our captain, which we're going to get into that more. Questions grew about who was actually leading the clubhouse. Well, clearly not Francisco Lindor. Jaun Soto later said Starling Marte was the true team captain. Another source said Soto and Lindor had two different personalities, describing their relationship as chilly after Soto's arrival. Wow. That just shows you how dysfunctional this team was. To the point where another player shows up, they automatically have a chilly relationship. That is ridiculous. Listen, I'm not saying you guys got to suck each other's dicks. I'm not saying you got to kiss each other's ass. We're just asking you to win as a fucking team. That's all we want you to do. For instance, I know exactly what this game is talking about, what this was talking about. There's a double play potential. McNeil had a hard time getting out of his glove, flipped it to Lindor, guy save it first. Next batter, base hit, tying run scores. It happens. It's baseball. As long as there's humans in the game, there's going to be errors. Just like what Francisco Lindor did down in Milwaukee where we got swept. How many big errors did he make? And again, nobody verbally attacked Lindor. Lindor, I guess, trying to take charge because of how horrible the stretch was trying to show something. That he had balls, that he had guts, I don't know. But listen, I am all for, calling somebody out on their bullshit. But there's a right way and there's a fucking wrong way to do it. And in my opinion, the way that Lindor handled this was unprofessional. You cannot verbally, say, oh, this, that, and the third, and then there's a standoff, and then everyone's questioning, who's our captain? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Other than 2024, Lindor has not been a captain in my eyes. Everyone says Lindor is this, Lindor is that. Well, I'll be real with you. I'm not starting to see it. I'm really not starting to see it. For instance, I don't want my captain smiling every 5 seconds. When we are losing and we are in the worst stretch of any team in the MLB, I don't want my captain smiling like everything's okay. Now, I'm not saying I want Pete Alonso back in 2021 for us to just smile. I just want the team to win. But when shit like this happens, what is going to happen to the team? The whole team is going to be out of whack. Which clearly, that is what happened. The biggest down spiral in New York Mets history. Well, I shouldn't say that because we had 07, 08, 2021, 22, 23, the team never showed up. That season was over in May. 24, what a magical ride that was. And then this year, this absolute shit show. Clearly, new ownership has not fixed this team. This GM that we have never wants to make moves. He always says he's interested in everybody, and then nothing happens. For instance, when Iglesias, the Braves closer, who recently got signed about three weeks ago, Stearns claimed he was interested in him. Well, David, you got to throw an offer at somebody. Who cares if they don't sign with us? Throw an offer. All we're telling you to do is try. Fucking try, David. This isn't Milwaukee. I don't want Devin Williams on this team. Sorry, not sorry. Which I should have said this in the beginning of the video. This video is going to piss a lot of you people off. And I don't care. Come DM me. Come argue with me. I don't care. I don't care. Back to this Lindor and McNeil situation. Again, like I stated, in my opinion, I think Lindor handled it wrong. You shouldn't verbally attack him. In the middle of a game, mind you, you shouldn't attack him. Now, I understand McNeil is not the best of players. I totally understand that. I understand he played like shit this year. I understand he gets angry so fast that he throws his bat in his helmet and stuff. He shows emotion. I'm all for showing emotion, but to a certain extent. That goes back to my other thing. I don't want my captain smiling every 10 seconds. Sorry. So, he went about it wrong, in my opinion. You can't call a player out in the middle of the game. You should have after the game in the clubhouse. You two listen. This, that, and the third. Blah 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 blah. You don't. I don't know what was said exactly, but he verbally attacked him, quote unquote. So who knows what was actually said during the confrontation? Again, you can't call somebody out in the middle of a fucking game because what's going to happen now? Just what happened in 2021. They're going to have a shaky relationship, which clearly Jaun Soto and Lindor didn't get along, which is crazy. Now, listen, I'm not a big Jaun Soto fan. I think everyone knows this about me. I think the Mets overpaid for him, and that contract's going to bite them in the ass. I really do think it is. Soto had good numbers this year. I will say that. But the team wasn't good. Well, they were good, and they weren't good. They didn't make the playoffs. Last year, they made the playoffs without Jaun Soto. Not saying they're not going to make it with him, but I'm just saying, point of reference. Now I understand why Soto said Starling Marte was the captain of the team. Because this now comes out, 3 months after the season's over? Obviously, you're going to look at Lindor differently. I've always looked at Lindor smiling too much. And that's about it. Just smiling too much. If he were to stop smiling, I think that would be fine with it. But again, in my opinion, he went about it wrong. Which causes, listen, when you have a shaky relationship with somebody on the team, it's going to cause the whole team just to fucking go down, down, and down. And that's all the Mets were after the month of June. Just straight down. They crashed into the ground. Maybe into the depths of hell as well. But seriously. Now, the Mets, as dysfunctional as a franchise as they are, I don't know what's going to come with 2026. I really don't. Is Pete Alonso even going to be a Met anymore? Is Edwin Diaz even going to be back? Is Jeff McNeil going to get traded now that this came out? I mean, listen, obviously the guys who got into something 4 years ago are still not going to be pals 4 years later. But is David Stearns going to shake the club? Because listen, David Stearns said the clubhouse has got to be shaken up. So is he going to trade McNeil? Obviously, you can't trade Lindor. You're stuck with that contract. You can't trade Soto. You're stuck with his contract. This is just hilarious to me. This really is hilarious to me, which this shows you why this team was as dysfunctional as it was. When you got players who can't get along with each other, just losing their mind left and right. Now, like I said before, I am not saying you guys have to kiss everyone's ass. Just get along, win the fucking game. That's all we want at the end of the day. We just want a fucking winning team. Not a team that collapses every fucking year. Let's get on Framber Valdez, the pitcher who the Mets are interested in. Again, interested in. I believe the offer was 6 years, $200 million. Now listen, this would be a good signing for the Mets. The Mets need as much pitching as they can get because this team is as dysfunctional as possible. It's also crazy how you pay for all these starters and they can't give you more than 3 innings. Sean Manaea. The Framber Valdez signing would be amazing. Go out there, get him, get another arm, another lefty arm. Screw it, get a lefty arm. I'm fine with this. I still want to know who's catching the ball at first base. I still want to know who's catching the ball in left field because those are 2 holes still open. But Valdez would be an amazing signing for the Mets. That would be one arm that I would definitely trust the most out of anybody in that pen other than Noel McLean, who is just a different animal, different breed right there. But seriously, this team has got to get shaken up for 2026. Not saying everyone's got to be traded. I'm just saying you got to get everyone together. What happened to that 2024 season? Like when Lindor called that team meeting together. You need another one of those. You really do. Because I'm not watching another year of this team collapsing. If that is the case, then that might be the final nail in their coffin, and I might not even watch another game. Then that's dead truth. I might just turn the TV up and never even turn it on again. That might be it. Because I am just so sick and tired. Because the way that my brain works, whenever I'm doing something happy, when I'm with my girlfriend or this, that, and the third, or something else, and we're all having a great time. With my stupid baseball team, whenever something like this happens, it just ruins my mood. Now, that's not just with the Mets. It's with every team. The Jets, the Devils, the Knicks. But it's always been with the Mets. It's always been. If the Devils lose, I'm upset about it, but I get over it. If the Jets, well, the Jets have been losing since the day I got fucking birthed. So I'm kind of already used to that. I already know the Jets suck every year. I'm not expecting anything else. Even though this year's a big failure. But with the Mets, I always expect them to do something, which I should just stop expecting things. It's probably better. But this is ridiculous. Shake this shit up for 2026. Go out, get Kyle Tucker, get back Alonso, get back Diaz, sign Valdez, trade McNeil, trade Vientos. Seriously, shake it up, please. It's all I'm asking you at the end of the day. All I want at the end of the day is a team that makes the playoffs. Just do something, because this is getting ridiculous. Oh boy. Well, that is the end of this video. I'm going to go watch the game of the week. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode after the Jets lose. I'm expecting, what are they now, 2-10? They'll be 2-11. Watch, they'll be 2-11. Horrible team that is. Two dysfunctional teams. Which, what a horrible team. What a fucking horrible team.